the peloton behind reaching them. Confirmation of what we told you a long time ago now that Mark Cavendish retired. But it looks as though it's all coming together. No gaps are going to stay. And it's all about bonus seconds on the line maybe, and a big GC fight. We didn't predict it was going to happen, but it could possibly happen. Is that Fabian Cancelaro's off his bike?
No, I think they'll stay in the Volder. It looks like stay in the Volder. But that just shows that you miss a gear, or you get a little bit of a wheel slippage going, all of a sudden you stand still, and basically you can't start again from in this kind of an incline. You need to have that little bit of momentum.
Tom Dumoulin climbing. He was at the front by around 30 or 40 seconds a minute ago. Those behind have quickly caught on him. The momentum of the peloton, the fact that those guys out front really have blown up now. And it's all about looking for Sky jerseys, Saxo Bank jerseys, perhaps an Astana jersey or two, or if it's just about stage wins, then Cannondale have two big candidates as well.
Yeah, they certainly do. But are we going to see an attack from any of the GC riders? You've got 100 metres to the top here now. If they're going to go, now's the time to do it.
In Chelsea, 75 metres from the top of this climb. And as you say, now is the time to do it. Nothing at the moment. After all the suffering today of staying together, perhaps they're looking at the descent. Certainly as far as Nibali is concerned, you could understand he would attack on the way down, but Contador should have gone by now.
Well, even so, you need to get a little bit of a gap opened up before you start to descent. Otherwise, it's too easy for the other riders to follow you.
He's suffering as well, I think.
Yeah. Like I said, these particularly very steep climbs, you know, you have one pace, and that's kind of what you go up at. Here we go again. You see riders now struggling to kind of get going again after having stopped.
It's that left turn, and then it's crowning. And look at the people on the road. The rain has started to come down harder in the last half an hour since we were here again. Look for Contador, though. And he's certainly not at the front.
I think the one that went up that one, the best was actually Peter Sagan.
Now that's interesting. Very, very interesting, because if he's got past that, then now we're saying that yesterday it was done and dusted. Might be about to put himself in a perfect position to take Tirreno for the second time in 2 years. Now Contador looks like he might have been slipping off the back of that little group.
Oh, he's hurting. He's definitely worked hard over the last couple of kilometres, but looking at Nibali's now riding style now, he's just there really to put the hammer down to get as much time as he can into this man here on the general classification. And at the moment, I think we're looking at the better part of 30-40 seconds.
Well, Froome isolated at the moment. Did have one teammate with him, but has gone out in front. 10 Pro victories, as you can see, won his first stage race earlier on this season in Oman. Looking so good again this week. Whatever happens, I'm sure it is a learning experience, and perhaps being taken out of the blue jersey here, necessary evil in his development as a GC rider.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, although I think he's pretty far developed in the terms of general classification riding anyway, but you know, it's one of them things where maybe has addressed a situation where, you know, he needs to improve on his descending skills a little bit compared to someone like Nibali, because we know that Nibali, given an opportunity, he will have a go on a descent, and in a position where most people don't like him to actually attack. But, you know, the road is there. Any kind of inclination on the road, whether it's uphill or downhill, have a go on it. If you fancy your chances, then...
4.7 kilometres to go. You're looking at possibly the winner of stage 6, Peter Sagan, alongside the man who should be going into the blue jersey, barring any comebacks by the groups behind. Nibali is with him, and of course we're looking at the group that is following. Cadel Evans, former winner of this race, alongside Chris Froome, 56 seconds behind here, 57 now, it keeps growing. The only changes that we're seeing at the minute are positive in favour of these three guys. Purito Rodriguez, by the way, making up the three-man leading group.
Yeah. No, they're riding very strong, and you know, Chris Froome, he really needs to get himself on the front of that group, and he's got to sacrifice everything that he's got at this point. 4 kilometres to go. There's nothing to wait for.
Well, one little subplot that we sort of touched on a little earlier on that's becoming clearer as the kilometres and metres go by. Certainly it's the least important of the three up there in the front, but Pulido Rodriguez is riding himself onto the podium.
Yeah, he's certainly getting very close to it.
We have Sagan for the stage win, Nibali going into blue, but yet there's something else going to happen there. 50-odd seconds behind at the start of the day.
Yeah.
This is the chasing group with Contador and Sanchez. Horner with his style, with the arms wide on the bars. Contador again suffering and struggling, not looking at his best. There's Froome, by the way, in the Team Sky rain cape, just in front of the Blanco rider Bauke Mollema. Yes. That is Wout Poels.
But Chris Froome, he can't sit on the back there of that group. If he's got any energy left, which, you know, you would hope that he has, he needs to get himself on the front and not ask any questions. He's driving as hard as he can to limit his losses to these three. If he's got any aspirations of bringing that back in the time trial tomorrow, obviously he's got a 20-second buffer on Nibali before the stage, but Nibali will also get a couple of playing for podium, that's for sure. But you know, the overall, I think you're looking at the winner coming here in turquoise colours.
Well, we saw him last year in conversation about what's going to happen here. Inside 1 kilometre now, a bit of politics being played out there, communication. It's all important, and of course Nibali has to be a bit of a gentleman about this, having got a very good lead. Or does he, Magnus?
Well, Nibali at this point in time, I would have thought he's not going to ask any questions. You know, I was expecting him to really just drive it into the finish line, because it's all about the GC for him.
It certainly is, with 5 3/4 hours almost in the saddle on a wet, rainy, horrible day in the east of Italy, but it has been beautiful as far as the cycling has been concerned. The two groups perhaps could be coming together as far as we get to the line. They're the two groups behind, of course, inside 200 metres now. It's Sagan who is opening this one up and looking to try and drag them on even more. Expect Sagan to be taking the win here, ahead of Nibali, who wants the bonus seconds, I think, as well. Sagan can raise his arms. Nibali and Rodriguez, I think, already have preordained what was going to happen there. Nibali wanting those bonus seconds, Rodriguez putting himself up onto the podium. A perfect outcome for everybody, and another highly impressive win for Peter Sagan. In the meantime, though, there is still racing to be done behind. Contador, look at that counter on the bottom left-hand side of your screens. Nibali already is in the blue jersey. Maglia azzurra for him, as we see Sant'Ambrogio sprinting for every second possible.
Yeah, it's important for Sant'Ambrogio as well to keep away from this chasing group, get a little bit of a time split, because we've got to take the Sant'Ambrogio time here. He's coming over the line at 43 seconds.
And then Froome is going to come in a couple of seconds back further.
48, yeah.
Chris Froome then had 20 seconds of a gap on both Contador and Nibali today. Nibali will now be in the lead, we know that much. Cunego has taken the green jersey, that's been decided as well today. The points jersey as well to be decided. We expect Contador to be up there and thereabouts as far as that's concerned. So riders still coming in here.